This is how I would invest my first $1,000 in 2025. My first $400 would go into an ETF that tracks the S&P 500 like SPLG, SPY, VOO, or IVV. This allows me to diversify across the top 500 companies in the United States like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. Next, I would invest $300 into an ETF that tracks the NASDAQ 100 like QQQM and QQQ. Next, I would invest $200 into a high dividend paying ETF like SCHD. Currently, the dividend yield is around 3.8%, meaning that I get around $1.06 per share per year. Next, I would keep $100 into a money market with high interest rates.
All right, so let's break this down. So his first recommendation is to put money into S&P 500. It's a pretty good pick, low cost. The thing to know though is that even though it's an S&P 500 stocks, they're not weighted equally. In fact, the top 10 holdings control the majority of the price movement you have, and they're mostly in the tech sector. So you're actually overweighted into certain stocks. So it's not like you own Apple, Microsoft evenly. You actually have more Microsoft, Apple, the big ones. You're gonna have more shares in those as opposed to other ones inside S&P 500. So you're gonna be overweighted more towards the tech sector. So if tech's good, you'll be good. If tech has a bad year or crashes because it's some kind of tech bubble burst, then you're gonna feel it a lot more in there. NASDAQ also super tech heavy. So if I have money in S&P and NASDAQ, you're overweighting more into the tech sector. Third, he's in a dividend producing fund. Not a big fan of dividends. Why? Because all dividends is a forced distribution of your account. Even if, like how he said, you got $1 per share of a dividend, what happened was they took the dollar from your share price and they gave it back to you. So if a market was absolutely flat and they gave you a 3% dividend, or let's say it's a $3 dividend, the share was $100 per share, the stock would go from $100 down to $97, and that $3 dividend would be put into your account in the form of cash. And the big thing that a lot of people don't realize here, when you get a dividend, one, it's taxable if it's in a taxable account. If you're an IRA or any type of retirement account, you're okay. But the default a lot of times is the investment isn't into a money market account. So the dividend is getting put into money market account. So essentially you're being forced to sell off some of your shares and purchase money market accounts. Now you can reinvest that money into the market, or if you have the option or the company you're with allows you to, you can always just buy back into the stock. But it is a setting that oftentimes you have to go in and track. It's not something that happens by default most times. And then putting $100 into the money market fund, it's almost 10% of that $1,000 you start off with. That seems a little high unless you really don't have any emergency funds. If you're young and you're really trying to shoot for that, I would bypass the money market fund and put more into the market, perhaps something that isn't so heavy in the tech side. Now, as a licensed advisor, I actually can't give you investment recommendations like this guy is. If I made a video like this where I told where to put money, I would lose my license within a week. So take this type of information with a grain of salt. The people that come on here as influencers, while they may mean well, if you follow exactly as they do, it may not be in your best interest or tailored to you. Everyone's a little bit different and needs their own investment strategy. So one-on-one meetings, we'll talk about all day long. But to make a YouTube video like this, you really want to be cautious here.